video games at their core are designed to take us all to another place, take us to a place where we can all kind of get away from ourselves and be other people, step inside other people's shoes. Much the way that movies do the same thing. You know, movies, when we watch them, we can be transported anywhere. A lot of people like superhero movies. It's fun to envision ourselves as a superhero. When you play a game like Halo, you picture yourself maybe as a Master Chief yourself, or in those particular roles. And I think that's one of the great things about gaming. It's such a great medium, and things continue to keep getting better and better. One of the things that keeps getting better with the technology is the graphics and the things that are going to be coming. So we have a new generation right around the corner, and obviously people are very excited about what that means and what it's going to bring to us, and just how close are we to those photorealistic moments that many of us have been like asking for many years. And now we get some answers to those questions in the form from the developers themselves. Hey, what's up everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It really helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. Shout out to all the new subscribers, old subscribers, everybody in between. You are definitely appreciated around here. Thank you for helping me. And the best thing you can do if you want to ask yourself, hey, how can I help this guy? I would really like to help out. It's just a simple like. You can hit the bell so you're notified of all the content as soon as it drops as well. That's a key part to actually helping out the channel. Believe it or not, it means a ton. You know, it means absolute ton. So with that being said, we all want to know kind of what the next generation is going to bring, just in terms of the realism, how much realistic can it get, the immersion level. I've been talking about immersion for a while now. It's something that I absolutely can't wait to feel immersed in games. I think that's one of the reasons why I like VR so much, is because when you're in the VR and you're experiencing that world and these things, and you feel like you're part of that world, and that immersion level and that immersion factor is just incredibly huge, and it hits you right in the face. And so I think that's something that I particularly love. But I also love immersion in non-VR games, and then nothing breaks that immersion more than like long load times and things like that. So I'm glad to see that the developers and stuff like that are really kind of speaking out and letting us know what we can expect and how gaming is going to change over the next generation and over the course of the next generation. So again, I'm very excited for Xbox Series X. I'm hoping that we get a ton of more information today, later today, from that big showcase that they're going to be doing. I'm hearing great things with the Fables and the Halos and the Forzas and all that kind of good stuff. So it's a very exciting thing. On the PlayStation side, obviously, I'm very excited about what they have as well. I just feel like PlayStation really gets it. I like both. I think both have a distinct difference in the way that they handle things and the way that they go about things. And I wouldn't say either one is wrong or right. I would just say that PlayStation's ideas are a little bit more coincide with how I feel a more traditional console should actually do things. So it's going to be very fun to see how next generation plays out. Are people really ready to move up and stream stuff and things like that on their phones? Is that going to be the next big thing? I personally hope not. I feel like if streaming games ever gets big, that's kind of the end of consoles, and I really don't want that. I have enough trouble just watching Netflix on a stream, much less, being able to actually play something that needs like a one-to-one reaction. I mean, we all buy TVs that have the least amount of input lag as possible, and monitors with the least amount of input lag. We have, there's game modes on our TVs. We want these things to react as fast as possible, and the bottom line is, no matter the technology or your internet speed, it's like playing a game that's hooked up, a game console that's hooked up, hundreds of miles away with hundreds of miles of cords to a controller, and that's basically, you're waiting for that to send back and forth. So no matter how much they improve it, it's never going to be what we get from the local hardware. And with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, we're actually getting some of the lowest input lag we've ever had in console history, because that was a huge key factor with these new consoles. So that really, to me, is very impressive. So obviously, what I'm going to be talking about here today, which I'll link in the description, you guys can check it out, a developer sort of talking about what's going on with next generation and how facial expressions and animations are going to get even better. Look, if you played The Last of Us 2, and this person was a Naughty Dog employee, if you played The Last of Us 2, the animations, the facial expressions are second to none. The character movements, it was so crisp. It was so amazing. And that was on a current gen game, on a current gen console. So you have to wonder exactly what's going to be able to, you know, happen. And this person actually also worked on Red Dead Redemption 2, which is another game that had some amazing killer animations and stuff like that. So according to this person, he did an interview, he had some incredible stuff to say. He said, if you look at The Last of Us Part 2, you just look at their facial expressions. They're so good. Some of them blow my mind. And remember, I saw them every day. They still blow my mind. That sort of quality is going to get even higher. And look at a lot of this is part of the amount of data that we're going to be able to deal with. So I do think that we will see not just bigger worlds, but more believable ones with believable characters as well. And basically, a lot of this is talking about, you know, the solid state drive and things like that, because you're able to kind of transfer and use that much more data. See, a lot of people were under the misinformation that these solid state drives that we're getting, that these things were going to be strictly for loading times, you know, and that's simply not the case. You know, we're getting kind of caught up in some of the hyperbole and some of the things that are going on within the communities that are kind of touting that and saying, oh, well, it's only for this or only for that. That's really not the case. Being able to stream the assets up and get them up quicker, I think that's something that a lot of people want to see. And, you know, we continue to see developers talk about these things and say, hey, I understand that people are thinking that we're overhyping this stuff, right? This isn't DX12. You know, this isn't some quote-unquote secret sauce. I mean, this is a legit reason to get excited, and this is a legit reason why all these developers are excited as it is. You know, we're going to continue to see that excitement level branch out as developers get to actually utilize and kind of use what's given to them by these companies. You know, and I'm not taking a knock or a shot at Xbox Series X. I think that Xbox Series X is a fine platform, and they have a good solid-state drive as well. I've stated this numerous times. It's just not as good a solution as Sony's, but that doesn't mean it's bad by any means. I feel like they actually have some pretty cool stuff to kind of showcase and things like that, and it's going to help them out tremendously. I just personally feel like what Sony has done is on a whole other level, and it's very exciting to sort of see how they're going to be able to accomplish what they're going to be able to do with that. You know, like we've already seen it with some stuff like Ratchet and Clank and how you're able to do that, and that has to do with loading stuff. But what about when we get to some of the first party exclusives, like maybe the next God of War is capable to have like even bigger worlds, or, you know, some of these games might have even more AI and more believable AI, because I got to be honest, you know, as we even got to the end of the generation, I see some improvements with AI in some games, but for the most part, you know, it wasn't the case. You know, it was like AI is still pretty stupid. And there's one thing that I really hate in, like, say, an open world games, right, is how unpopulated these worlds tend to be, right? I want that to change next generation. Like, I don't care as much about resolution, you know, give us the option on the frame rate, cool, but why is it, you know, like I can remember being severely disappointed when I played Batman Arkham Knight and the world is just not populated at all. You know, that was really kind of a bummer for me. So I really do hope that we get better, you know, bigger worlds, more AI, better AI. These are things that I really hope for that we get, you know, because I know like the loading screens are going to be next to nothing and we're going to get a lot of this other stuff, but the photorealism with the expressions, that's all stuff that really kind of brings you into the immersion of a game and into a world. And, you know, when I was playing The Last of Us 2, one of the greatest games I've ever played in my life, by the way, you just find yourself in awe of the animations and the movements, and all that whole game just opens up a lot of avenues that we've never seen before in video game history, and that's very exciting. So for me, I want to continue to see that, and I want to continue to see that grow. And if things are going to get even better than that next generation, that's a huge, huge accomplishment and a huge point of a reason to actually upgrade. You know, like people want to see this. People want to see where these things are going. We all want to see that next big thing, and it looks like, you know, it's coming sooner rather than later. So at least according to this, anyway, you know, things are continuing to get better. Now, you know, on the Xbox side, you probably have to wait a little bit, but, you know, on the PlayStation side, it looks like they're going all out, and you're going to get an early idea about what they're going to have within that first year. You know, even the Horizon sequel, and, you know, the Ratchet and Clanks and the Spider-Mans, and I'm sure they're going to do a full Spider-Man sequel probably in a couple of years. It'll be out, and, you know, God of War and Days Gone sequel and whatever else they kind of have coming out. So I'm very excited to see what types of stuff they've been working on and how that's going to look on the PlayStation 5. I'm interested to see the Xbox stuff too. Don't get me wrong. I know people think that I'm a quote-unquote hater. My only point of contention with Xbox this entire time has been that they gave up way too early and kind of threw us all under the bus by not supporting their platform with quality first-party exclusives, and I don't think anybody can deny that. So hopefully they rectify that issue, and everything can go back to being kind of normal. And I'm sure there's always going to be fanboy stuff and console wars and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, if the games are there and the games are great on both, I think it really kind of takes the edge off of them a little bit. So I honestly am more excited than I thought I would be. I thought, well, I'm getting older, maybe this stuff isn't as important to me anymore, but honestly, it's just been incredible, and seeing how excited the developers are themselves, it gets me even hyped, even more hyped than I normally was. So this is a fantastic news. I will link it in the description. If you guys ever want to reach me on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, Xbox Live, MOH Space Crapgamer, PSN just Crapgamer. I'll always respond. I try to respond as quickly as possible. I want you guys to know that I definitely care about your opinions and things like that. If you have any ideas or stories you would like me to kind of cover, let me know about that as well. At the end of the day, man, this channel wouldn't exist without you guys, so thank you so much. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. Have a great day. Rack 'em up and game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.